What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and sail the deep blue, the deep green sea. That is a deep green right there. I love darkish green colors. Among my favorites, those foresty greens, maybe mix in a little bit of like a misty white color. Either way, the darker the green, the better. I like it. So, a quick recap for all of you that may not have been here. I know some people like to jump straight into whatever's current. Our voyages had not gone so well. We have not found the locations we need to find. We have not made the money that needs to be made. And so, unfortunately, a lot of our verbiage is a little bit tangled up right now in negative areas. We do have backup plans, so we're not completely sunk yet. Oh, boat puns right there. But, however, that's not really a boat pun. I suppose we're not completely sunk yet is more of a boat saying to begin with. Damn, you ever realize that some sayings become so far away from their original origin that at that point you can then make references back to the original origin and it's treated like kind of like a joke or as kind of like a sideways comment, and then you realize halfway through you're like, oh my god, that was the origin. It's just that nobody thinks about it, and so you might get away with it if you hadn't already pointed it out. Never mind. Moving forward. So, we have a couple of strategic informations over here. We have moves in the great game. We can trade these in for a lot of money if we find ourselves without any other option. But for right now, the plan that I would stick to is actually getting a lot more strategic information and then comparing them. I almost say comparing them, but pairing them with moves in the great game. Once we do that, I got some moves in the great game. I could pop it, lock it, bring it on back spy style. But anyways, moves in the great game can be combined with strategic informations to make you even more money. And so it's a bad idea to sell these individually. Instead, you want to combine them and then make even more money. And so what I'd like to do is pick up like 3 more strategic informations. If we can make that happen, we would be in amazing, amazing straits. Let me take a look at my journal real fast, and we're going to try and figure out here. A shadowy figure made us a deal. Yes, indeed, he did. Admiralty Commission wants us to go to the Iron and Misery Funging Station. Okay, that seems all right. Let's be on our way. I don't think we found the Funging Station just yet. Funging is not a verb that I'm really familiar with. It sounds deeply unpleasant. Like if somebody fungs you, I'd be worried. They'd be like, yeah, I totally funged that guy last Saturday. I'd be like, whoa, calm down. My grandmama is here. Damn, son. Using that kind of language. You funged me last week and you funged that guy. What happened to you? What happened to you? You used to be pleasant to be around, and now you're fung this, fung that. It's just unpleasant. It just seems like a word that would get you into trouble. So in today's episode, it's going to be mostly exploration. It's going to be mostly me panicking and hoping we get the locations that we need to get. What is this over here? It's a rock protrusion. It's a lithic protrusion. I thought it was going to be a fun location. Does not look as fun as I thought it was going to be. Let's go down to the south. I know there's like a weird satanic hellish place down here where everything's alive and it's not. There's 2 locations that are like that, but one is delightfully more sinister. Is it delightful? I don't know if that's the word that I want to use, but either way, one of them is way more demonic than the other. It's actually right here. You can see the papers flying through the air, and this one is always in the same spot. On the plus side, it has a really, really awesome soundtrack, so there's that, just in case you wanted to dance a jig real fast. That is something that's available to you when you go down to the Iron Republic. So let's be on our way. We're going to dock down here. We're actually in the middle of a fog bank right now, which is unfortunate. The only bank that I'd like to go to is any one that has a lot of money for me right now, because we are broke as a joke. We only have like 5 echoes or something ridiculous like that. I don't think I've ever been this broke before, so it's Kugel's Bluff. Hooray. Well, we got some more fragments from that. Maybe later on we can trade in some of our secrets for something useful. If we can get 5 secrets, I think we'll be able to get ourselves up to 30 mirrors, which will then mean that we can finally combine the strategic information we have into the various parts in order to make even more money. But for right now, we're a little bit stuck. We got a couple of mascots. Okay, that's pretty cool. Better a mascot than an ascot, I guess. Oh, we've got 7 secrets, so maybe I should get on that right now. So he can increase my veils. Who can increase my... Well, anyways, I'm going to speak to you real fast. You increase my hearts. I don't think I have anybody right now that can increase my mirrors, so we might actually have to do that the hard way. All right, Hell's client state, be wary. Their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Factory engines roar like false lions. Blood thunders in the dock pipes. Crimson lightning skitters across the deck and leaps to the rail and curls there like a cat. The city is reflected in glassy calm harbor water. The citizens there have the heads of dogs and serpents. Hell has brought freedom to the Iron Republic. Freedom from all laws and even those of nature. Well, damn. Let's see here. We can compile a port report. And so it won't be entirely straightforward. The streets won't lie straight and the ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. Okay, so we'll do that. We gained a Tale of Terror. To record the Republic's event, it's like trying to sing wax or believe a water. You do what you can. The third paragraph, Bud's eyes. The date is fundamentally wrong. The full stops bite. You do what you can. All right, so we got a tale of terror. We got a memory of distant shores. We've got a Parliament of Flies. Every single time you do this, it actually opens up. We've lost 2 pages, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but it can't be helped. Every time you come here, you get a different event, and so I don't really know how else to describe that other than like taking it at face value. So this place has a number of different varying events and locations. The shops will open up only for one visit, and then you just have to get lucky if you ever want to see that shop again. If you have money, you can get very, very good deals here. So for example, we got... what did we get? The Parliament of Flies. So there's fire in the belly right here. We can actually buy ourselves some more fuel if we need to. I am going to do that very, very quickly. We don't have anything else to sell, but if we go back to the storyline, we can go to, we should be able to anyways, the Irrepressible Cannoneer. So that guy's looking, okay, so we have a gunner. We have a Parliament of Flies. And so I think we could take our chances here. Let's see. The Market of Hungers with its spires and sigils. Is it a parody of the bazaar? Today, flies still fill its arcades. Buzz, buzz. I have trouble reading. I've said this every episode, but the font is so small that I have a lot of trouble seeing it. Let's go into here. We have the House of Pleasures, and so as you can see, new things are here. There's the Judgment's Egg, and we can trade it for a Colossal Flute Core. There's Romantic Literature. Romantic literature is illegal in Fallen London. I don't know if I've brought that up. I don't know exactly why it's illegal, but if you have some, you can sell it here if you come at the right time. There's some Dread Surmises that you can buy for. If you get a Dread Surmise, the awful daring of a moment's supposition which in an age of ignorance can never be denied. If you sell this, it will be hard to replace. Searing Enigmas are already really, really, really rare, and so 9 Searing Enigmas for 1 Dread Surmise seems like that would be a major, major trade, like a game-changing trade. You can sell Scintillac here, which is pretty cool. Parabola Linen can be bought, but I think Parabola Linen, what I would highly suggest that you do is that you play this game with the wiki open for Fallen London, or at least Sunless Sea. It'll make your life a little bit easier, so... you know, I would play with it open. That way you know what's being traded where. If you really like exploring that on your own, well, then I guess you can do that. But I find that you miss a lot of deals in this game just by not having the metagame knowledge. And while some people find that to be fun, when it comes to the trading, I'd prefer just to know what it is right now, and then we'll take it and make the money. We didn't really get anything done right here. It doesn't turn your ship around very well, does it, in this port? All right. Well, easy does it. Let's take her out of port. I'm actually going to turn off the lights for right now. Our terror is very, very good. We don't have to worry about that for quite some time. I'm going to wait for that to get a little bit worse. I think it's going to be best if we go south of this fog bank right here. Let's go underneath it because I don't want to go through it. Going through it seems like it'll get us into a lot of trouble. December 25th. It's Christmas right now. How brutal is that? What's trying to murder me and why am I in combat? Oh, there's a dreadnought down there. Okay, turn off the lights. I think he's probably going to try and investigate on us, but if we can keep the lights out, we should be okay. He is way, 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 way outside of our capabilities right now. 400 HP. That thing is a murder boat. It is designed to destroy us. So let's sound the all clear. Let's get a feel for our charts right now. We've got the Mercurius deep to the south. I'm going to start sending out the Z-Bat to see if we can find anything down here. My ultimate goal is to do a very, very wide arc and come back to London. In the worst case scenario, I will sell off all of our moves in the Great Game and all of the random strategic information and things like that that we have if we have to do it in order to survive. I would prefer not to, though, so... is what it is. We may get caught. We've had very, very bad luck on this run. It's one of the downsides to random generation, and I don't know if it's something that the developers... Fathom King's Hold is to the northeast. I don't know what that means, but we'll go there. What is this off on this side? We've got the Eliphas Rift, and it looks like we've got some kind of enormous mushroom island off on this side. Is it dockable? Not only is it not dockable, Luckright's Reef. Okay. Let's go up to the northeast. We'll see if we can find this location that they're referring to. It looks like there's Lorkensport off on this side. Lorkensport. We're playing Lorkensport on the Blort. Lorkensport seems like the kind of sport that you would play, I don't know, on the ice. It's definitely an ice sport, Lorkensport. However, we've got Fathom King's Hold. What is this? Why did it refresh the screen when it did that? Oh, that's worrying. Lorcan's Port, named for the most enterprising of drownies. Phosphor cells burned green. Somewhere below, the king awaits. Like an iceberg, like a Bazaar master's scheme, like the Neath itself, most of the hold is invisible. You see only a tiny portion of sculpted coral, the rest waits below the surface. The Fathom King's bone rooms and aquaria, his pearl snares and his dining chambers. So we can descend down, and if we've got a Z story, we can take care of... Well, if we had a Z story, I suppose we could get something done right there. We can compile a port report, so let's do that. Those granted audience return dazed and awestruck. The king is not generous, but occasionally he is fair. Do you mean fair as in he has light skin, or do you mean he's fair as in he's easy dealing and he makes sure that he doesn't screw anybody? Either way, we got our port report. We can also go with shore leave. It's the only other option here, so I figure in the interest of adventure, we should probably go for it, right? Let's see here. Captain, I walked the shores at the edge of the coral caps. The drownies sported there. They called my name, and they said that I could join them if I partook of the feast. Their eyes were red pearls, Captain. I dare not sleep. There is such a hunger on me. And so we got a fragment. We gained... Oh, that was overtly negative, wasn't it? Well, damn. I suppose that's all. Can we go again? What happens if you do it again? Your crew needs provisions. There are mouths to feed. You can tighten all the belts, but things will begin to Wait, did I run out of... supplies? No, I was going to say, we have supplies, so what's the problem here? It looks like you're basically just gambling with the fact. I'm sure something good happens if you keep spamming it out. There's a lot of events like that in this game where if you just keep clicking them, eventually something good will happen. But given the fact that we actually have a mission that we're trying to engage in right now, I think I should probably have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. Okay, well, there are things around here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to cut back to the left real fast. Well, maybe not. Let's wait till the Z-Bat gets here. There are no islands within the Z-Bat's range. Unfortunate, but livable. Looks like we just gained a little bit more terror. I'm going to kill the lights when we come around the side of here, because it looks like we have some kind of piratey thing over here. What is that? Melancholia, Caligo-class cruiser. Alright. Probably more than we can handle right now, given the fact that it has almost 4 times the HP exactly that we have. So I would watch out for that. We've already traded in a lot of our port reports and all of our Admiralty favors in order to make ourselves a little bit more structurally intact. So for right now, I think we're floating. Nothing but float. We got the Shepherd Isles to the northeast. We got somebody else with a light over here. Flitterstone Isle right there. I wonder if this right here counts. Is this the Shepherd Isles? I may have to go through, and so what we're going to do is we're going to cut through the center right here. I'm going to come back around. Oh, I might not be able to do that. So instead, let's kill the lights so that the pirates don't see us. And then we'll try and go around the south edge of the harbor right here. I'm going to put something in right there. I think he's got us. Unless he's friendly. That's the other half of this. It looks like he might not actually be hostile. Okay, let's put into port real fast. And unfortunately, I don't think this is a location where anything good's going to happen, but we can check it out. The Shepherd Isles. Alright about that. My air conditioner comes on, and one of the things, I've never had air conditioning before, like in my entire adulthood. I'm not going to say my entire life because that's a tad hyperbolic, because my parents had air conditioning. They never used it, but they had it. So anyways, I have air conditioning for the first time at the apartment that I moved to like 6 or 7 months ago, and it is ridiculously loud. I never realized that air conditioning sounds like a helicopter is landing on your house. And it might be due to the fact that the little box that runs the air conditioner is right outside the window to where I record. And then behind me is the box that controls the air conditioner. And so I'm trapped in between these two boxes of noise-making just nasty chaos. But it shows up on the recording and it bothers me. So anyways, Shepherd Isles. Of course the bearded watchman tells you. There are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, indeed, it's just the name of the gentleman that found the islands. Greybeard sitting in the village square nods solemnly. No sheep, one says, but plenty of tails. Ask us anything. Okay, so we can ask them about who sleeps. So there's going to be a graveyard up here that I noticed. There's some standing stones. And then picnic at the Standing Stones. We have 5 echoes. The bearded villagers will sell you mutton stew and kefir and stone bottles of cold fresh spring water and row you over to the stones. I don't know if I want to be over there. Let's get a port report real fast. Oh my, yes. There's been goings on. And so there it is. Surface rolling like a porridge pot, up with a roar of steam and a flash of fire. 3 windows swimming and tentacles, and then we saw His Highness. And so there's a rather lot of this material. Let's take a picnic at the Standing Stones, I guess. And so we lost 5, and then we lost a little bit of terror. Your sailors watch the fireflies shimmer, swap shanties, pass round the grog, and shy stones. Shy stones, I suppose that means throw. Okay, so shy stones at the more vampirically inclined Z-Bats. Grasses nod in the breeze. Across the dark water, the lights of Abbey Rock glow watchfully. Suppose that's all for now. That was the last of our scratch. And so that's all you get to do today? Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, that blows. That wasn't something that I expected to happen, but I guess you only get one event. That's the other thing that kind of bothers me about this game, is that it's very much, if you've ever played Fallen London, they've built this game sort of like a browser game in which you have limited turns. Like, you only get to do one thing at each island you go to. Like, you can't sit there and do multiple events and just kind of, like, figure out an island. It would make sense if you got ran out of town or whatever like that. But it feels, I'm not going to say it feels too much like Fallen London, but it feels like a browser game in that this is a game that you, like, paid for and you want to do, like, the content on the islands. But I suppose it was a way to force you to be paced out. What is that over there? Because I don't want to know what that is. I can't zoom out far enough, but it looks like it wants to hurt us. Oh, it's a pirate steam pinnace. Okay. Well, let's go back and see if we can ram the little bastard. I'm going to try and go in. Yeah, he got us right there, unfortunately. I'm going to take a shot at him. And the goal for right now is to stay along the backside of his flank as much as possible so that he can't levy his guns against us. And that's actually a legitimate naval tactic. I forget what it's called. But I used to play a lot of games like Age of Pirates and things like that. And so I got really into like naval stuff for a little while, like naval strategy or whatever, because I had all these ships and I wanted to orchestrate and make them all work the way they're supposed to work and not get owned and just like not ram my face against the enemy like, give me loot, and just like rub my face on my foes. But yeah, that's a strategy right there. I forget what it's called. It's like crossing the T or something like that. Either way, we can loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. We now have a cache of curiosities. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but there's something at the back of the hold. Well, if you play around with a pinnace, you might get loot. That's what I learned today. And so now we get to open it up. Crates, the source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. And so we got ourselves 2 fuel. That's actually not so bad. Coke, like coal, but more so, as the Department of Infernal Rarefactions would have it. Apparently we found a crate full of cocaine, so that's pretty cool. Yay, we get to burn some coke in order to keep ourselves going. We got Moody's Light over here. I think, now that we're east of Abbey Rock, let's send out the Z-Bat real fast. So as I was saying before we got waylaid, I think that they drew a lot of cues. Oh, we got Demo Island to the east. They drew a lot of cues from their browser game that they already run. But the browser game, in order to bring in revenue, there's only a limited amount of things that you can do per day before you have to pay to get more turns, or you wait until it rolls over the next day. And you can see that in the design strategy of this game, where sometimes you go to a place and you can only do certain actions, and then from there they're like, well, maybe come back later. And it's a way for them to stretch out the gameplay. But sometimes I want to sit there and I just want to binge out on a location, you know what I mean, and just see what it has to offer. And so sometimes I find myself just like, oh, left want. Oh, we needed to go here for our strategic report. Okay, that's good. The Iron and Misery Funging Station. Hooray! We shall fung at dawn. And so anyways, I&M has a funger operation here, felling giant Boligus shrooms for building materials, harvesting Curaleaf for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? And so we can give the pass sign to the affable factor. Here, little to report, but we've had Canet privateers nosing around and tell them that the company grows suspicious. Mr. Iron knows Mr. Iron knows the Admiralty is interested in business. Pray, my friend, that you never have to serve 2 masters as I do. Might be stressful. And so what we could really do right now, if we wanted to be a total badass, is we could not do our mission and turn this into I think a searing indictment or something like that. Either way, we can take tea with the factor. We can explore the island. We can accept volunteers so that we can have more sailors. That might not be a bad idea. However, you gotta pay him. I mean, he only costs 1 echo, so why not? Let's accept a volunteer for right now. Or we can gather supplies. It's a 60% chance. So, some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, or mischievous. Good luck. See, like, 75% of that doesn't seem so bad. We can explore the island. Let's do that. And so, close crowded thickets of Boligus and Skirily, the Iron and Misery Company fells them daily, but they grow back almost as fast. The interior of the island is dark and wild. It's the little things, the click of sliding stone where there should be silence, a motion in the shadows as if they were thick slurred like ink, a lull in the cries of the Z-Bats. Something is watching you, something closer, hour by hour. You and your crew draw back to back, watching the darkness. How is Art going to help us right now? Anyways, we can retreat to the ship. We can wait, watch, and end it. We have rifles. Pretty good odds. Let's run. And so you sense it in the murk, its course parallel to your own, but by the time it draws near, the lights of the port are already ahead. Your sailors clatter up the gangplank, whispering together in nervous undertones. You've gained terror, but we've gained a tale of terror as well. We can sell those off for a little bit of money if we go north, I think. If we go to the place where, I forget the name of the place where all of the random mummies hang out. But either way, you can sell those off over there. We can come back and we can compile a port report. I thought that's how we did a port report, so there it is. Of course, I&M's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. So we got that taken care of. How many port reports do we have? We've got a 60% chance to gather supplies here. Might not be a bad idea. Let's try. We gained we got 2 terror, but we did get 1 supply, so that's pretty good. That'll buy us a little bit of time. What happens if we go again? We got 2 terror and a supply. We were fortunate again. You can actually, can you farm these up right here? I mean, we've already got really good terror, so why worry about it? Any terror below 50. So the way that I look at my terror in this game is that your terror is below 50 because you don't know better. And so what happens is once your terror is above 50, it can never go down below 50 after that without special circumstances. And so I treat it as the captain is naive. He actually doesn't know what horrors are out in the ocean. By the time his horror gets up to 85, it resets back to 50 when you go back to London because he knows better. He actually knows what's out there now. And so he always has this underpinning, this underpining of terror in his mind. One of those interesting little things. Let's keep going. We've got a good luck streak going, so why not? I mean, we've got a bunch of supplies here. Sure. I mean, we were fortunate like 500 times in a row. How many times can you say, it won't let me do it anymore? We actually it locked us up. With a 60% chance, we just succeeded like 8 times in a row. Good stuff for us. That may have turned things around a little bit for us. At the minimum, we can sell off some supplies if we need to. Let's see if we can find the Canet out here somewhere. I would prefer it. The Bonny Reefs are a long ways to the north. Oh, and we actually know what's out to the west. So I think if we go... There are certain locations we have to find, like on this trip. Otherwise, we're just going to be backs against the wall. We're not going to have too many more options. It looks like there's something out to the east right now, which might be good or it might be bad. What is this right here? This is the Regal Complexus. I don't think this is a location where we can actually stop off and accomplish anything. A new fuel canister about to go in. However, it is a location that we will take note of. And before continuing north, I think this is probably a pretty good spot for us to break off the episode. So, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. I look forward to seeing you all in the future. I may pick up my new Fallen London. Again, but I would want to restart. So, I will let you know if I get a user account right there so that we can hang out on Fallen London. I know that I said I was going to play it last time and then I kind of fell off. It's a browser game. All browser games are kind of hard to keep up with when you aren't actively thinking about them. What is this over here? I don't know. We'll find out in the next episode. Bye, everybody.